March 7, 2025. Daily Bread. Passage: Genesis chapter 18 verse 16 to 33. Key verse. Verse 19. Title: Keep the way of the Lord. Then the men set out from there, and they looked down toward Sodom. And Abraham went with them to set them on their way. The Lord said, Shall I hide from Abraham what I am about to do? Seeing that Abraham shall surely become a great and mighty nation, and all the nations of the earth shall be blessed in him. For I have chosen him, that he may command his children and his household after him to keep the way of the Lord by doing righteousness and justice, so that the Lord may bring to Abraham what he has promised him. Then the Lord said, Because the outcry against Sodom and Gomorrah is great, and their sin is very grave, I will go down to see whether they have done altogether according to the outcry that has come to me. And if not, I will know. So the men turned from there and went toward Sodom, but Abraham still stood before the Lord. Then Abraham drew near and said, Will you indeed sweep away the righteous with the wicked? Suppose there are 50 righteous within the city. Will you then sweep away the place and not spare it for the 50 righteous who are in it? Far be it from you to do such a thing, to put the righteous to death with the wicked, so that the righteous fare as the wicked. Far be that from you. Shall not the judge of all the earth do what is just? And the Lord said, If I find at Sodom 50 righteous in the city, I will spare the whole place for their sake. Abraham answered and said, Behold, I have undertaken to speak to the Lord, I who am but dust and ashes. Suppose 5 of the 50 righteous are lacking. Will you destroy the whole city for lack of 5? And he said, I will not destroy it if I find 45 there. Again he spoke to him and said, Suppose 40 are found there. He answered, For the sake of 40 I will not do it. Then he said, Oh, let not the Lord be angry, and I will speak. Suppose 30 are found there. He answered, I will not do it if I find 30 there. He said, Behold, I have undertaken to speak to the Lord. Suppose 20 are found there. He answered, For the sake of 20 I will not destroy it. Then he said, Oh, let not the Lord be angry, and I will speak again but this once. Suppose 10 are found there. He answered, For the sake of 10 I will not destroy it. And the Lord went his way, when he had finished speaking to Abraham, and Abraham returned to his place. Daily Bread Message. God was about to deal with Sodom, whose evil had been ongoing for a long time. God had a clear plan, but he included his friend Abraham in this. Why? God had chosen Abraham to be a great nation through whom all the earth would be blessed. But it would require directing his children and household to keep the ways of the Lord. God saw the situation with Sodom, and Abraham's nephew Lot, as a time of revealing Abraham's mind and heart. How would Abraham respond? Hearing about God's plan to visit Sodom, Abraham took it upon himself to plead for the righteous people in Sodom, not on the basis of their righteousness or his influence with God, but on the basis of God's good and just character. It was hard for Abraham, who feared God, to continue to press the number down to 10, but he did so, and each time God fully agreed with Abraham's request, even to spare the city for the sake of 10. In this way, Abraham demonstrated keeping the way of the Lord by doing what is just and right, as a good shepherd for his nephew. Jesus tells us our days are just like the days of Lot. We learn from Abraham how to model the way of the Lord in our times through crying out in mercy for sinners Jesus came to save. Prayer. Father, thank you for your great mercy on me and my family. In days like these, help me cry out in prayer for even one lost soul today. One word. Justice tempered with mercy.